Hey, Granny Gear here for this old guy in a bike. On this episode of Ride to Coffee, I'm going to be hanging out with John from aMTBer Products. Man, I have a heck of a time saying that. But I don't have a hard time saying that he makes one of the best chain lubes I've ever used. It's a wax-based lube. It's been great. I did a review video on that already, and I'm going to put that down below in the description. But we're going to be spending a little bit of time on a couple mountain bikes, and then we're going to sit and we're going to talk. We're going to talk about his inspiration for what he did and why it works so incredibly well. Stay tuned. Well, it's a beautiful day, John. What do you think? Should we go for a bike ride?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go. Tell me something, John. This is a pretty place, man. Where are we going riding today?
Place I've been riding since I was 10 years old. The horse trails.
The horse trails. You say that with reverence.
Kind of a secret.
Okay, man. Woo, secret place. I'm excited. Good ride, good trails, beautiful day.
Good ride.
So I think, wasn't it like 2019 Sea Otter when we first met, right?
2019, yeah.
And you had a booth there and you had your chain lube on display. And I was tired and I was ready to get out of there. But I needed a better chain lube solution. And you were very convincing. You really seem to be passionate about what you're doing. And you seem like you're really knowledgeable. And now here we are. That was a lot of years ago, a lot of chain lube.
4 years ago.
And when I saw you, I first thought, who is this long-haired rocker guy? But there's actually some truth to that.
Yeah. I started racing bikes when I was 11, and by the time I was about to turn 16, my hopes for turning pro were over when basically all the tracks closed. Devonshire Downs, Teen Center, Canyon Country, Azusa, everything closed.
Wow.
And so I continued to race nationals for a little while that would show up in town, but I knew it wasn't going to probably happen.
The days were numbered.
And so so I auditioned for a band, and 10 days later I got the gig, and they said you have 10 days to the first show, and that was in front of like 3,000 people.
Wow.
And I was terrified.
Oh man.
So it just sort of kind of went another direction, but I've always loved bikes. And it's my number one.
Yeah. The chain lube. What was your inspiration for that? Because there's a lot of lubes out there.
Probably started with my dad. I'll skip that part though. But basically, when I started racing, you know, I realized real quickly that your bike has to be top notch to keep up.
Yeah.
When I got to 12 expert class, a lot of those guys I was racing against became like famous downhill pros.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and they were all factory sponsored, and I was just independent at that time. The chore of cleaning a chain goes way back to then, like 12, 13 years old, just using paint thinner in the garage and all kinds of stuff. And just, I've always wanted a better solution since then.
Well, you know, I was looking for something that would last long and wouldn't gather grit and wouldn't get messy. I got so tired of getting chain marks on my clothing and loading your bike up. And wow. So the sidecar then?
I developed this for places I go to like Mammoth, where I wanted to get my suspension perfect at operating temperature halfway down the mountain, not set it up cold in the parking lot and then it just changes with the descent of altitude and the heating up of all the oils. I wanted to be able to check it really quick halfway down the mountain and then have an idea of what it's doing. Because you know, you might start out at 30% sag with X amount of clicks of LSC, but then halfway down the mountain, it's a whole different shock. Red hot.
And that's on your website. We'll put a link down to that. So you're a man of a few talents. You also got some ultralight knee pads on that we were riding today. You got going.
You were wearing the ones I gave you
That's
a while ago. Yeah.
So let's go back to chain lube, because for me, that has just been a game changer. Right?
Yeah.
I've been using it across almost 4 years now, across all my bikes: road bike, gravel bike, mountain bike. Right? And it really does seem like it gets better with age.
Yeah,
the more I use it.
That's by design. It's not just a chain lube; it's a chain treatment, and that's something I'm trademarking.
And that sounds super secret. Got to kill you if I told you.
Can't really talk about that stuff too much.
No, and I want to finish my coffee before you kill me, so we'll stop there. But seriously though, it's a crowded market, but I have no reason. I can't think of any reason why I'd want to use anything else. It's really been very, very good for us.
Well, it solves all the problems.
Yeah.
So synthetics have a lot of pluses with a couple of minuses, which is they get dirty and require a lot of cleaning. And once you hit water and sand, it's game over.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Where wax solves that problem, but it doesn't last very long, and it really can get kind of noisy on a dirty ride. And
yeah.
I don't know. I've tried all of them, and
and that noise is wear on your parts.
Yeah. So.
And what's a good chain? $100 now?
I haven't bought one in a few years, so I wouldn't even know.
Well, it's funny you say that, because in the other video where I reviewed this stuff, I'm like, that's a 2-year-old chain, and on my chain sag ometer, it's still like a new chain.
Yeah. The bike you were riding, that cassette has 6,000 miles on it. That chain has been on there 2 years. This bike is newer. This is a replacement bike from one that was stolen, but that chain's been on there for 2 years and 4 or 5 months now, and it's at 20% wear.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah. That's a real perk.
And these are my 2 trail bikes I ride a lot.
Yeah. So you've got some new lube that I haven't even had a chance to try, right? What's that about?
Well, I was working on the e-bike formula ever since I finished optimizing this one back in like late 2020.
Okay.
I come up with the first batches for you to try.
Right.
And then you gave me some feedback and I tweaked them, and then pretty much perfected this one by January 2021.
That's the 5311, which I really like. We use it on my wife's road bike and even on the gravel bike.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It solved the quiet problem, like over long miles, so there's just extra stuff to do that in there, and it takes a little more to make it.
Yeah.
So from there, I knew I can do an e-bike formula now.
Okay.
Like something that's almost a motorcycle lube.
Because there's a lot of stress, right? Stress isn't the right word, but there's a lot of torque. There's a lot of, right?
Yeah. So basically, with more torque, you need more metal-to-metal separation. So those ingredients are different proportions based on the needs.
Yeah.
The original formula was to solve that problem of wax dipping chains constantly.
That's smooth lube.
Yeah, and then from there, I wanted something for my bike park where I didn't have to bring a crock pot or any kind of thing to spend a weekend up there.
Yeah.
And this one eliminated the crock pot entirely.
And that's Lubenschlag.
That's
It's just a great name. I love that.
It's something.
Okay, so we got
Gotta
that.
name it something. And then from there, I realized, okay, this works really good for my bike park situations, really blasted, dusty situations, where your bike sounds like a Sherman tank after 4 laps.
Yeah.
Solved that problem. So then I went, okay, let's see if we can make it for everybody. And then the 1.2 was sort of for everybody that typically rides regular length mountain bike rides.
Yeah, okay. I used that for a while. That's actually really good. I've used smooth lube on things like cables, housings, and stuff. It's really good. In my pedal cleats.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that.
I use it on cleats and all kinds of parts on the bike. Seat post clamps, anything that makes a noise. This stuff penetrates in there and gets in there and kind of shuts it up.
That's nice. And it doesn't attract dirt.
It doesn't attract the dust. And from there, people started telling me all the uses they were doing around the house with these two. So we can get into that later.
Screen door hinges and who knows, right?
Sliding windows, vinyl doors, just you name it.
And you got, what is up with this?
Okay, so along the way to developing...
Guitar string wax.
Yeah, along the way to developing the original Bike Park Lubenschlag formula, the first version, I realized it wasn't quite enough for what I wanted, but it'd probably make a really good guitar string wax. And I thought, maybe I'll get around to mess around with that.
Yeah.
So it took a couple years. I finally did. And my guitars that I put this stuff on, I haven't broken a string on one of them in over 16 months.
Wow.
And the other one, I just broke the D string like last month.
Wow.
So I used to break strings every
Oh my
week.
gosh.
If I invented this when I was 15, it would have saved me thousands of dollars. So,
That's crazy, man. First of all, I almost feel like introducing our rooster friends. Is that awesome? We are in the country, aren't we?
yes.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, I mean, if you're gonna have background noise, that's better than a jet
I
plane.
love the creek. Going
And the
right
creek
now,
in the
yeah.
background. And, this has been a real technological jump, I think, for bikes and how we maintain them and what that does for us.
Or
'cause-
don't maintain them.
Or don't maintain them, right? It's certainly, I haven't degreased my bike since I started using this because I don't need to.
Years, yeah.
I don't need to.
Well, I do think it is very similar to the learning process we had to go through with tubeless tires from running tubes, you know. Now, I certainly don't miss changing flat tires trailside in the middle of summer anymore.
Right.
And I don't think anybody's going back to that.
No.
Now, yeah, the sealant's a little expensive and it's kind of hard to get that rim. But we all learned how to do it. I think most of us have pretty much figured it out by now. But at first that was difficult.
Yeah.
I know I struggled with it. This is similar in that there's a little bit of a learning curve. You have to learn how to push it in where it needs to be. You got to learn how to kind of know when you need to add more as you break the chain in.
You do season the chain like a cast iron pan is what
I love that analogy. I never thought of that one before, but it really is similar to that. It is a treatment. It is build up over time. There's other things going on I can't talk about.
Yeah.
But what it does is it creates a very good metal to metal separation, and it just gets smoother and smoother the more you use it. And then it seems like the chain wear just stops.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you, John, it's been a great journey. It's been great getting to know you. And I love this product. I'm looking forward to see what you do in the future. And thanks, man, on behalf of everybody that's got a chain on their bike.
Hey, thank you, man.
All right.
Great ride.